Hello everyone, welcome back to
Hello.
another episode of our Continental Podcast. Today we have Eden, Singh Park, and Momin, and we talk about the games played last night. So let's start off with Austria versus Argentina. What are your thoughts on the opening game of the day?
Messi is pretty good. um, he had two goals and missed a penalty and could have had another hat trick. He's right now, the player of the tournament. But stuff could change, and also I am a little bit worried about Argentina because what if Messi gets injured or isn't 100%? I don't think they have enough to go through. He's carrying them right now. So I'm not saying they're not going to win. I'm just saying I'm a tiny bit worried if Messi isn't on it all the time, what will happen?
Yeah, I mean,
Mm.
there's no doubt of Messi's performance in this game again. I mean, obviously at the start he did miss the penalty, but after then
Mm.
he just came back and scored two goals, which is crazy. And I also believe he had like few more chances as well. But yeah, going to the game, I mean, the first half, I do think Argentina were like, I wouldn't say dominated, but compared to second half, I would say like they dominated relatively more in first half than in second half. Because in second half, I do think Austria had few chances as well, and it felt like for every chances Austria was creating, Sabitzer was involved in it. But yeah, just watching this game in general, it just was kind of clear that there was a level of difference between Argentina and Austria. I mean, I don't think Austria were that bad. I think they were all right, but there was a clear level difference. And yeah, the things I would notice was also that I think the passing for the Argentina in general was actually not that good in my opinion. So yeah, what do you think of the game, Moment?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, starting with Messi. Messi is Messi, and despite missing the penalty, I feel like he missed it on purpose, saying I don't really want an easy goal to become the top scorer. So let me just score some more goals. So, but although if he did score that, he would have had another hat trick. This would have been crazy. But yeah, speaking of the game, Argentina weren't really that dominative. Like they were kind of slow at times. But Austria, I would say, were quite defensive. Like they were not pushing enough. They were not pressing Argentina enough. They were just allowing Argentina to have space and just pass along them, which I think costed Austria here. Although they did have quite a few decent chances, that once again they could not really take advantage of them. There was some solid defending at the back from Argentina, and although as Ethan said that I believe if Messi gets a knock or something, there might be some slight problems for this Argentina side because we saw how they kind of lack with finishing. Even in the second goal that Messi scored, he the he was about to have an assist if Alvarez scored that, but Alvarez couldn't really finish, and then Messi had to do the job himself. So I think Austria could have done much better than this, and maybe even could have drawn the game, but we're simply not on the same level as Argentina. So yeah, this was definitely a great game for Messi and Argentina. Let's move to the second game, being France versus Iraq. What do you think of
France
this?
are my World Cup favorites, and they have depth and talent in every position. And Mbappe, whenever there's a World Cup, not at the Euros, but whenever there's a World Cup, he's on fire. 16 World Cup goals in three tournaments. I looked at the stats. He has 16 goals in 16 games at World Cups, which is incredible. And he's only 27. If he keeps scoring, he's going to equal or surpass Messi's record, assuming Mbappe plays more World Cups and Messi retires after this one if he wins it. That's just assuming or something like that. Or Messi doesn't play the next one or something like that. Mbappe could break his record.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, I think Mbappe will probably take the World Cup top scorer record soon. Anyways, I mean, he's not that far off. But yeah, going into this game, I mean, it was kind of expected that France were going to be the clear favorites for this game. But even then again, I do think I would give credit to Iraq for the first half, though. I mean, I do think they were still kind of in the game for the first half, but just similar to the Norway game again. I think like in the second half, they just kind of fall off. I mean,
Capitulated.
and we literally see that. We literally seen that with the goalkeeper mistake. I mean,
Oh
literally
yeah, that
just
was
give to
horrible.
Mbappe a goal, and then yeah, after that it was just kind of like yeah, I think after that it was just kind of like domination from France. But yeah, I mean, I was saying. Olise, I did think he's like quite good as a number 10. I mean, I've said that last game. I feel like he should be playing as a number 10, and today we kind of seen that as well. He was kind of unlucky in the sense like he did have like few chances himself as well, but yeah, I think he hit the crossbar for one. And yeah, and also for the second half, I would say France were did kind of slow down a bit because probably because of the fact that they already were in the win, so they could sit back to relax. What do you think of the game, Moment?
Wait, I want to say one more quick thing. That 2 hour halftime delay did not help Iraq. If anything, it hurt Iraq.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, obviously in the first half, Iraq were looking more confident, and even the goal they conceded was once again they're disorganized. They got disorganized. They gave Mbappe too much space to take a shot, but like all throughout the first half, whenever they were like compact, France didn't really get any chances at goal, and Iraq did quite well. They had chances to score as well, but could not take them. You know, the thing with small teams is that when a small team like Iraq is playing against France or Spain, etc., you don't get many chances in the game. So you try to finish those, the ones you get. Plus, it was also kind of sad to see Ayman Hussein, the Iraqi striker, being subbed off in the first half, and you could see his his he was missed by the Iraqis. He has some lethal heading, and he could have definitely contributed. And yeah, that the 2 hour break was also, I believe, quite a bit too much. I think it broke the tempo. And speaking of the second half, Iraq once again, similar to Norway, keeper mistake, conceded a goal, and they got under pressure, and then just France basically dominated them and scored the third one as well. So yeah, surely with this one, Iraq is out of the tournament. So yeah, wish them good luck for the upcoming games. And yeah, let's move to the third game, being Norway versus Senegal. What do you think of this?
My favorite game of the round so far, and I predicted 3-2. And but Norway took their chances. They had less shots. Senegal did not take their chances, even and they could have. Right at the end, they had a header that just missed and should have scored and made it 3-3. But Senegal, they're not out yet. But like me and you were talking about before the podcast began, um, Morin, they need to beat Iraq. They have to beat Iraq, or else they have no chance going through. They can't finish in the top two, but they need to beat Iraq and by a pretty big margin, or else they're not going to qualify as a third place team. So Senegal really shot themselves in the foot, and all three goals I thought were kind of mistakes.
Singpack, what do you think?
Yeah, yeah. So, in my opinion, watching this game, like I've said in the prediction, I was predicting it to be a close game. I predicted a 2-2. I did not think Senegal were going to be like the clear favorites for this game, and that's what kind of happened. In the first half, I mean, it was a kind of a close game in my opinion, but I do think like the Norway attacks were just way more lethal in the sense. And I do think even though Mandy he did kind of uh almost give away a goal, but I do think he was still like wasn't like the he wasn't having a bad game in my opinion. He did make like few saves as well, and I think the reason on why Norway were playing good again was just because of the fact that their midfield was kind of stepping up today. I mean, like I've said, I think when Odegaard was going to play better, I think the whole team were going to like kind of see the fact of it, and that's what we kind of saw. But yeah, going into it, I do think for the Senegal side though, I do think it was kind of shocking to see the defense like that, especially Koulibaly. I mean, I feel like there was like a for like One of the goals, I think Koulibaly should have intercepted the ball, and then for one, yeah, I think he was like making mistakes. What do you think of the game, moment?
Wait, I want to ask: is there any news on Mendy because he had to go off injured? Is there any news for how long he's out? Is he gonna play the next game?
Yeah, I don't know. We don't
I'm
know.
not sure. I haven't checked the news yet. But yeah, speaking of the game, once again, I feel like Senegal had quite a few chances. Once again, like in their game against France, which they should have, they must have converted in hopes to take the game home. But once again, they could not. And I've been hearing that there are some problems in the Senegal camp. The players are not being paid the bonuses from the AFCON. The coach is not being paid, and yeah, so they're basically the camp is in a real mess at the moment. So, but still, I think Senegal could win this game, and uh, I believe the first goal Norway scored was a mistake by Koulibaly, if I'm not wrong. I mean, coming from him, he's probably the most experienced one at the back for them. Yeah, it was surprising to see him. Mendy definitely made a couple of good saves, but were not really enough to stop Norway. And once again, as Ethan said, the Norway goals that were scored were pretty. They could have been avoided if and Senegal did well, but yeah, they just really lacked in the game. And Norway, as probably many people expected them, Erling Haaland once again with the brace. So yeah, this is definitely really concerning for a team like them. If they really want to a chance to qualify to the next round, they must beat Iraq in a dominating way. But uh, yeah, so but I don't see it happening unless things really improve for them. So let's hope for the best, and maybe they can qualify by the third ranked position.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
mean, like you have said, uh, it was kind of crazy to see Koulibaly put on this type of performance.
He
I
got
mean,
taken off.
for yeah, yeah. And then, but I just want to talk about like in general, I do still think it was a close game. Like you have said, I think Senegal were just kind of struggling in the sense to like convert the chances into goals. But I want to mention like what a game it was from Sar. He also had a like an overhead kick, if I'm not wrong. But that was like didn't go in. But yeah, it was what a performance for him.
yeah, Ismaila sir, he's a good player, but you can't really keep missing chances at this level because you don't really get many, and when you do, you shouldn't really put them to waste. But yeah, they couldn't. They lost the game. Hopefully, things improve for them. So let's move to the final game of the day, being Jordan versus Algeria. So, what do you think, Ethan?
I did not watch all this game. I watched the first 10 minutes and I had to go to bed, so I can't really comment on it. But I'm sad Jordan are eliminated. So that's my thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was the same. I watched the game for like the 60 minutes as well. I watched the first half and then I watched like around like 20 minutes for the second half. But yeah, when I was watching though, I think like starting off, I think Algeria had the ball a lot, but they were like did like create some chances, but even then I don't think it was enough. But after the point when Jordan scored the goal, I think they kind of had the momentum going on. They were like creating few chances here and there, and it was actually a quite good displays from Jordan in my opinion. But yeah, and after that, even when the second half started, I do think like Algeria did kind of step it up. But even then, I think Jordan were still putting on the pressure a lot. So I wonder what happened after the 60 minutes. So yeah, what do you like? What happened after moment?
Yeah, so speaking about the game, it was a good game from Jordan. I believe in the first half, Jordan had comparatively more chances, more shots, and which once again they should have converted, but unfortunately they could not, and they paid for it. Algeria, they were not really looking as sharp and bright in the first half, but the second half was, yeah, it was really uh, for them. Uh, the goal, the equalizer was a great goal, and moving with the equalizer, I feel like Algeria really got the momentum on their side, and then they just keep on attacking and attacking. And finally, in the 82nd minute, they finally managed to score the winning goal by their striker. And I was really glad to see Riyad Mahrez starting the game, and he definitely contributed towards the team. You can see how crucial of a player he is for them, probably the most experienced one in this side. So yeah, it was a good decision to in finally start him a game. But I think there was some kind of an offside check in the second goal scored by Algeria, but they didn't really think it was offside. I think it's a fair decision. But yeah, Jordan, they put up some good displays, defensive as well as attacking displays, but it wasn't really enough to pull them through to the knockout stages in this World Cup. But you gotta appreciate Jordan here, World Cup debutants, and some great football you've seen from them.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, I was actually kind of satisfied with the way Jordan were playing, considering like the level they are. And I was actually quite shocked to see them play that good, like decent. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of cruel, but that's a football game. I mean, now they are officially last in the group. But yeah, I still think it was a big achievement for them.
Yeah, for sure. Things do need to improve for them, and hopefully they can be perhaps a better side in the next World Cup. So yeah, this is it for the games we played. Let's move on to the predictions for the games being played tonight and early morning tomorrow. So yeah, let's start off with, did we do Portugal Uzbekistan? Yeah, we did. Eden, we already did ours. So what do you think of this one?
Um, I may be crazy. I know Portugal played horrible against DR Congo, but I think Portugal win. But I'm going only 1-0. So I do think Portugal bounce back, but I don't think it's gonna be a great performance. I think they just barely win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's so
that's
crazy. I mean, we predicted Portugal to win as well.
yeah, for sure. Okay, so we have David with us here. So what do you think of the Portugal and Uzbekistan game? What's the score gonna be?
Oh, hello, hello. I think Portugal will come through with a 2-0 win.
Yeah, yeah, they really
Uh,
have to step up this game probably because if they draw, there's probably much things are not really looking good for them considering they drew in their opening game. So yeah, hopefully they step it up in this one. So let's move on to the next game being England versus Ghana. What do you think of this one?
4-0 England. Harry
4-0
Kane with
England.
2 goals. Ghana is not very good.
Very interesting. Do you think back?
Yeah, I mean, I'm backing England for the win here. I think Ghana, they weren't that strong. We have seen that. I mean, I think they only narrowly won their last game. And I think
Yeah, they
England
did.
have,
They beat Panama with a last-minute goal in a very
yeah,
bad game.
yeah, both teams were kind of average. But yeah, going into this, I do think England will continue their good run of form. So that's why I'm backing a 2-0 win for them.
What about you, David?
I'm gonna say a 4-0. I think England have looked great. They scored 4 against Croatia. I think they'll get another 4. England just looked too sharp, to be honest. What about you, Momin?
Yeah, looking at their opening game against Croatia, they definitely did really well. But on the other hand, it's Ghana. It's also kind of an unpredictable team because I know they drew 1-1 with they won against Panama 1-0, which wasn't really a dominating win perhaps for them, but at the end it's the winning that matters. So they took the win against Panama, But I don't think England really get a dominating win here. I think Ghana will try to get back into the game, try to play their best. So I'm just gonna go for a 1-1 draw here.
Ooh, that's gutsy.
Yeah. So move to the third game, being Panama versus Croatia.
I
So
have a 2-1, but I think the bigger story is Luka Modric is, if he plays, is going to become the fourth player ever in history to make 200 appearances in the men's game international level, which is huge for the guy. And I'm so happy for him. He's been a legend of the game and for Croatia. He dragged them to the World Cup final in 2018. He won the Ballon d'Or. He's a legend of the game, and I'm so happy for him. And this is probably, I would say, his last World Cup, and to go out with your 200 appearances is a big milestone.
for sure, for sure. Do you think,
Yeah,
Simpa?
yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think this should be a game where Croatia kind of bounces back. For the England game, I think for the first half they were kind of like keeping up the intensity, but yeah, in the second half I think they did kind of fumble. But yeah, I think people were kind of using that game to really underestimate Croatia. I do think the quality
I
gap
agree.
between Croatia and Panama should be big enough for a comfortable, like I wouldn't say comfortable win, but I do think Croatia should have a win here. So that's why I'm going for a 2-1 win for Croatia.
Interesting, yeah. What about you,
And
David?
Singpack, what are your thoughts on Luka Modric? Are you happy for him?
No, no, I mean, we seen the game he played. I mean, he did kind of make a mistake, but I mean, I don't think he's completely washed, but he's definitely not like going to be the star player of the team as well.
But still, 200 appearances for Croatia is great.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt of his legacy. I mean, he has cemented his legacy as one of the greatest Croatian players ever. There's no
I'd say
doubt on
he's the
that.
greatest Croatian player ever.
Yeah, I mean, I hear that, but yeah, in the sense like I'm talking right now, I don't think he's washed, but I also wouldn't say he's will be the best player for them.
Yeah, yeah. So David, what are your predictions on this one?
I think it'll be a 3-2. I think there'll be goals. I think Croatia's defense is a little bit shaky because I was watching the England game, but I think they can score, so I think they'll win 3-2. And yeah, I think Modric, yeah, what a legend, eh? Crazy player. What do you think, Momin?
Yeah, so we saw Panama in their opening game against Ghana. Uh, I don't really think many people expected them to hold Ghana to a draw because uh, Panama, although they do have some, uh, you can say some matches where they surprised, but it was kind of shocking to see them lose against Ghana. Uh, because I just think they had better chances to convert, but they could not. So on the other hand, Croatia, they were like kind of good in the first half against England. It was like you can say that 2-2 until the first half. Then yeah, things just went wrong for Croatia here, and England just dominated them. So I think it's gonna be another draw in this one. It's gonna be a 1-1 in Panama and Croatia. But I do hope Croatia bounce back in this one because it would be really sad to see Croatia being knocked out of the group stages. So yeah, I'm gonna say a 1-1 here. So let's move to the final game, being Colombia versus Congo. Oh, Eden.
I predicted a 1-0 win for Colombia to send them through. I just think I like the Congo. I do. I just think Colombia has a bit more quality, and I'd be very happy about that. Because I like Colombia. So that's my prediction: 1-0 Colombia.
Interesting. Think back.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before. Colombia are my picks for the dark horse. And while for the game, I think the game they played for the first half, they were kind of sleepy until the Diaz and the other attackers woke up. But Yeah, I do think it will be a close game because we have seen DR Congo's defense. They were looking quite structured in the sense man marking was quite good. They were like stopping like every cross and attack from Portugal. But yeah, therefore I think it will be a close game. But I'm still backing Colombia for a win here. Like Ethan has said, I do think they have more quality. So yeah, I'm backing a 2-1 win. But I'm also interested to see if James Rodriguez will start this game though, because in my opinion, I don't think he should be starting anymore. Like I think he will be good as a super sub.
David.
I would agree with that.
Mm, yeah, I agree as well. I think it's gonna be a 1-0 win. I think Colombia will win, but I haven't been too convinced recently. I think they are dark horses, but people also said that about Turkey, and we saw what happened to Turkey.
Oh yeah.
Osman is still crying. He is still upset. So I think 1-0 win for Colombia because Congo, yeah, they looked good last game.
The
Yeah.
car video is still iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Poor Turkey. They do this every single tournament. They're a dark horse, and then they, underachieve.
Those
I mean, but
bombs.
still, yeah, the fact the 62 shots and basically 0 goal is still quite crazy to me. But yeah, let's move to the Colombia versus Congo. As we saw in the opener against Portugal, Congo were quite solid in their defense. They were quite compact. They were structured. You barely ever see them disorganized. So I think they're gonna give a tough time to that Colombian attack. USDS up against Van Bissaka, I believe, will have yeah, it will be a top-notch game because both Van Bissaka and Luis Diaz are top quality. It will be interesting to see how Luis Diaz steps up against this defense. We can see how he contributed to the opener against Uzbekistan, and really excited to see if he can produce some magic this time as well. Although I would like Colombia to win this one and seal their place in the knockout stages, but I've been supporting the underdogs in this World Cup, so I wouldn't really be surprised if Congo yet again draw another game. So yeah, I'm also initially going for 1-0 for Colombia, but yeah, hoping it to be a close one, to be honest. Yeah, think with that should probably wrap it up now because that's it for the game. The second, the second games of each group, quite possibly the do or die moments. Many teams got knocked out, and the final game of the group, it will be decided who are the best eight ranked team, the third eight best third ranked teams who will uh, go through. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how the groups end up because quite a few groups look really interesting, like the Egypt and Belgium group G, and uh, that Spain group as well, because still don't know if Spain draw and some other team win their last game. Spain could finish second as well. So yeah, some really interesting games coming up, and we hope to see you guys with us in the next games as well. So that's it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow after the games. Goodbye for now.
I catch you on the next one.
Catch you
See
later.
ya.